So just when we have the opportunity to meet some really cool, interesting people, usually that involves just Google employees in general. And so we have 3 right here. And we wanted to ask 3 questions. The first question is, what's your best advice for getting a job at Google? So just finished presenting alongside the Google team, and had a lot of fun looking back at what we've done in the past, and what's worked, what hasn't worked, and also what the plans are for, where am I going, right? The future, and what kind of goals we want to set as well. That's what I did, and then they basically showed the similar recap, but also in a bigger picture, and all the new things that they have as far as recommendations. So it's really, really cool. So there's a ton of takeaways, and that's usually how these quarterly business reviews work. And again, it's not common that we actually fly out to meet anybody, but for the bigger clients that we have, we certainly do, because I think that relationship is going to be super important. Sorry, I'm looking at like the directions at the same time. If we could buy a spot and have an office, it would be really rad to buy something like that. Because just think of the opportunities that we would have for murals on the wall and all these different things. Oh, what a dream. So the interesting thing with this client is that we've been working together for 3 years. I've been the main point of contact since day one, because KlientBoost is only 3 years. And throughout that time, we've, without my knowledge, have had other people and other agencies kind of knock on the door and want to earn, my client's business, which I get, it's completely normal. And so my client has given them access to the account. And so every time that happens, you're like, hey, I want to know what's going on, because, it puts me in a spot where I'm like, are they not happy? They haven't given me any feedback. So, how do I react to something like this? And then one time, there's a really well-known marketing guy named Perry Marshall, and he was hired to audit the actual account that I was doing work on. And what had happened was the client flew them out. He had a team, did a review. Look at that river, by the way. Did a review and all that stuff, and they found nothing. There's nothing they could do better. In fact, they were just praising what has been done so far. And so I think they paid Perry and team a decent amount of money to figure that out. And so, but the moral of the story is that you're never immune to that. There's always competition, even no matter how good you do it. And so you always want to be knowing that your clients are opportunistic and want to know more, and get outside perspective, which is completely okay. Just keep everybody in the loop, and get that feedback. And I've withstood potentially 6 different opportunities of people and companies trying to poach this specific client, and unsuccessfully so far. So I'm happy, but of course, moving forward, I just want to know that I also want to have a better relationship with that client, so that we can talk about things, or if feedback is needed, then I'll take it and adjust from that. But that has to happen first. So that's what happened. And again, like I said, you're never immune to that. So you want to prepare as much as you can. So just when we have the opportunity to meet some really cool, interesting people, usually that involves just Google employees in general. And so we have 3 right here. And we wanted to ask 3 questions. The first question is, what's your best advice for getting a job at Google?
Be yourself and be creative. I think is probably the best advice that anyone that you can do.
Cool. I may be biased, but I think
you did actually get hired.
Yeah, well, twice.
Yeah.
But
Twice.
no, I think like connections are all that matters.
Yeah.
I have my personal story is I didn't even hit the GPA requirement for the internship I got. I didn't figure out till later, but they bypassed the standard process and just got me an interview. So and I was like, okay, that's when I learned. I was like, I'm never going to do an application process.
All right.
People.
So you had a foot in the door because of the connection you had, and then magic happened after that.
That was a great intern twice.
Nice.
Well, that was for this time, yeah. Well, first time was anti.
So what's like the best thing about working at Google? Like it can be a small, tiny thing. Doesn't have to be like what's the first thing that came to mind?
Best thing is working with cool companies that are doing cool things. Like you guys.
Such a butt kissing answer.
That's the reason I do what I do. It's cool to meet fun people all around the country and to help them grow their business. That's why I say it.
For me, it's like I get really bored easily. Like I just don't have much patience for anything. I'm sure Kurt's learned that. So I like that we can be kind of working with a lot of people, kind of like going up where you said, like it's like one day you're doing like membership, the next day you're doing like a political campaign, the next day you're doing like helping like bill pass Congress, and so it's like you get to do a lot of different stuff, and it keeps your job very interesting.
That's cool.
I agree. Sort of more of the same. They always talk about something like 15 to 20% of the searches that happen on Google every day have never been typed in before. It's like totally new stuff. And that's definitely what it feels like, right? It's like every day you get maybe like 20%. It's just what on earth, completely new. How do we even think about solving that? That keeps it good.
So you made me just think of something. Does the 20% rule still apply to the time you spend at Google? Where like you're asked to do something completely different to figure out something that could be of value? Is that something that still gets practiced?
It's 120%.
Yeah.
120.
So it's like if you want to do something else,
So
you can do your job, and then you can do another job for 20% of the time.
That's so kind.
From 5 to 7 p.m.
Got it. Okay.
But you can still do it if you want to.
They generally do a good job of like keeping your core job like that to the 40, 50 hour a week, and then like so if you want to, and especially if you want to like move to a different world or different like game, you kind of have to.
You're like dressing for the job before you have it, or in a sense, right?
Just helping out, and learning, and maybe you don't like it and you don't want to do it.
Sure.
Like it's a cool. I think it's like the 20% thing used to be like an actual policy, and now it's just more of if you want to help some other team do what they do because you love what they do. You could ask them, and they'll probably say yes.
Yeah, that's cool. And now the last question is, what's the worst part about working at Google?
You work with our products all the time, and you probably know how frequently they change. They change like 3 times a month. Our interface changes, our features change. The company is very much the same way, so you have to be willing to cope with change on a regular basis, which can be hard. But it also opens up a lot of opportunity if you can handle it. So you're never comfortable, and that's hard. But I think it's a good thing, and it's good to be uncomfortable and to be excited about what's going on.
Cool. John, what do you think?
Couldn't agree more. That's sort of the upside, right? Is that you have that 20% that's always new, it's always exciting. The downside is sometimes, like every so often, 100% comes around and it's new.
Like you're like, well, what's ready for this?
Get reorged and new products or that kind of thing. Like Kurt said, you never get comfortable. That's probably helpful.
This is a personal thing. I don't like the scale. I think it's too big for me. Like I've always worked at small companies, and even when I started at Google, like our office is 150 people, and it feels like its own little silo. But then when I went to California for the summer, that's the reason. Like the reason I left is because it was overwhelming. I was like, it was too big. I didn't want to start at something so huge. It just wasn't my personal.
Is there anything you like in Mountain View that you like see that they get that you don't get in DC? Like the snacks or the slide?
It gets better. The offices get better with scale, just like everything else in life. So they have, and I think the weather helps. Like we could have more outdoor stuff. There's not much outdoor stuff in DC because the weather's not great most of the time. So I think that's what I miss most is like the outdoor campus and like just being able to eat lunch outside. And I really miss that.
That's cool. I've been there a few times. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. That was really cool.